Tier 1 People, leaders in Fintech executive search.
Hi, I'm Dexter Cousins, founder of Tier 1 People and host of Fintech Chatter podcast. In this series of videos, I'm sharing my 25 years of experience in executive search and recruitment, where I've helped thousands of people in their careers. I want to share with you some of my job hunting tips and strategies and a few hacks to help you in your job search. If you've been impacted by recent tech layoffs, I encourage you to watch this series of videos, which will help you really accelerate the job hunting process. Today, I want to talk to you about LinkedIn. I think it's probably one of the most underutilized tools when it comes to finding your next job. Most people think of LinkedIn as a place where you put your resume, but I like to think of it as a research platform, a marketing platform, and a database. Essentially, LinkedIn has all of the tools that you need to find your next job. So how do you go about using it effectively? Well, I've put together a 30-minute video, which I'll put in the links, which will give you a comprehensive strategy and plan on how to use LinkedIn for your job search. But what I want to talk about today is just some high-level concepts with you. So the first thing that I see people do with LinkedIn that I think is a big mistake is they treat it like an online resume. I prefer to think of a LinkedIn page like a landing page. It's a place where you can store all your best work, share content, and actually connect with other people within your network. Not only can you store your network there, but you can actually grow your network there as well. So when it comes to a LinkedIn profile, what do most people do? Well, they'll put their recent experience on there, some dates, a company name, and pretty much that's it. In order to get the most out of LinkedIn, you need to think about it a bit differently. One thing I want to kind of share with you is using LinkedIn with like it's a resume. The resume was invented by Leonardo da Vinci in the 1400s. Now, I'm pretty certain that if Leonardo da Vinci was alive today, there's no way he would be using a resume. He'd be using video, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. He'd be creating content, written content, videos, podcasts. He would be doing everything that he could to showcase his talents to the world. And I think this is one of the great opportunities that people have now when it comes to job hunting. There's so much more that you can do than relying on a job board and sending resumes or applications. In effect, you can create your own market just by being active on LinkedIn. And I've seen this work for so many people who have found their next career or their next role just through posting on LinkedIn and building connections. And so what I would encourage people to do is to think of LinkedIn as almost like a folder that you used to get when you'd leave high school that had your achievement of record in and a whole portfolio of work. I remember when I was finishing school and going to art college, and I had to walk around with a big, huge A1 portfolio with all my bits of work in and go and talk about that. And I like to think of LinkedIn a little bit like that portfolio, where I get to showcase all my best bits of work. Some of the things that I've found have worked for me and worked for other people has been to be very specific about building a brand. It's interesting this week, it was brought to my attention, some people who go about building a profile on LinkedIn with really negative, kind of shitposty comment, pulling other people down. Whilst that might get a lot of engagement and you might get a lot of likes, unfortunately, what it does to your personal brand is it totally destroys it. So I think the key to when it comes to your personal brand on LinkedIn is, first of all, you have to realize what your unique selling point is. Where are the places that you've created value in your career? What are the things that you're known for from your peer group? And how do you go about creating value for organizations? What are some of the big problems that you solve? We covered this in the last video, and I think it's critical that you use this as the cornerstone content for your LinkedIn profile. Once you get clear about the problems that you solve and your unique selling proposition, then you can start to connect with the right people and create content. Creating content is a full-time job. It takes a lot of effort. You might find that you don't get much traction, and it is something that has to be consistently done over years. So if you're looking for a job, how do you get traction quickly? Well, the best way that I've found has been to follow the top people in your industry and then start to comment on their posts. When I started Tier 1 People 7 years ago, I was given some fantastic advice by a friend and an old work colleague who had started their business. And they said to me, "Dexter, you have to earn the right to an opinion." And it's something that I feel that I've done, certainly within FinTech, taking the time to connect with people, listen, understand the industry, understand the nuances of those industries, and then start to voice some of my opinions. If you do this without the credibility, you're going to look a bit of a moron. So what I would recommend is a two-step strategy. The first is to get clear about your unique selling proposition. And then the second is to create a go-to-market strategy, which is around identifying who the people are that you need to connect with, the kind of messaging that you want to connect with them, and then starting to find content that's already been produced that you can share, which really reinforces your unique selling proposition. This is a great way to get started quickly on utilizing LinkedIn, and then you can start to create your own content as you get more confident and you start to build up a bit more knowledge. So I'm going to put a link to the video that I did at that time, which you can go and check. I think it's around about 35 minutes long, but I've got a full step-by-step strategy that you can follow, and hopefully it'll help you 10x your job search.